Good morning team, welcome back to another video. We are officially back in Sydney.
Do you miss me at all? Do you think about the things we used to do? No, you couldn't stand tall. So why didn't you call?
I do apologise, it's been a couple of weeks since I've uploaded a YouTube video. I did mention I went back to Europe, went back to London and then went to Ibiza for 10 days in total. We was away for, obviously my granddad passed away, so we went back for his funeral, which was really sad. And then we had a nice little family trip to Ibiza for 4 nights, which was lovely, really nice to get away. Hence why I got a little bit of a tan. But we've come back to Sydney and it's absolutely bloody freezing. It was, I know it doesn't look it, it looks absolutely stunning today. It's beautiful on the water where we are, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. But I woke up this morning and it was 7 degrees, which for Sydney is really cold. And obviously going back to London in the summer and then going to Ibiza, it's been really, really warm since it is the summer, and it was super humid over in Ibiza. So coming back to this weather has been pretty cold, to be honest. It is warming up a little bit now. It's coming up to 11 o'clock. It's midday of today. So I've got a little bit of time to enjoy the beautiful Sydney winter. It is currently 15 degrees at the moment, so it's warming up, as I say. Sometimes it gets up to 20 degrees in the middle of the day, about 1 o'clock-ish. It's only going to get up to about 17, 18 today. So yeah, it's warming up. We did a little bit of a boat trip in Ibiza. I say a boat trip, we hired a little boat for a few hours and it was absolutely fantastic. I did film a little bit of our trip, so that vlog will be coming up probably after this one. Get this one uploaded first, and then I need to edit the Ibiza vlogs. But yeah, we are here in Spit. I'm planning on doing the Spit to Manly walk. I have walked over from Neutral Bay, which is where we're staying, all the way over to the start of the Spit to Manly walk, which we're nearly at. This is Barubra, the Spit. Don't really know too much about it, but absolutely stunning. Got all the boats and the marina. There's loads going on. As I say, it's an absolutely fantastic morning. Look at this. I was going to come out a little bit earlier, but because it was so cold, it put me off a bit. So I had a little bit of a chilled morning, and now we're going to go across that bridge over to Spit, which is where the start of the walk is, and then we're going to go all the way around and see what we can find and explore some of the beautiful beaches here in Sydney along the way up to Manly. It's about 3-4 hour walk in total. Here we are then, Manly to Spit walk. It's also part of the Bondi to Manly walk, which you can do, but we're not doing that today. That is an awful long way. So yeah, this is one of the things that people have recommended to me doing. In fact, my music teacher in particular was like, you got to do the Spit to Manly walk. It's one of the most beautiful in Sydney. So we've done the Bondi to Coogee. We've done a couple of other little bits and pieces. And we've actually done the start of this walk towards the end of the summer with my 2 brothers. We went to Clontarf, which is the first beach, which I can see now. It was just lovely, but that's as far as we managed to get. So here we are then, this is where we start. Ellery's Punt Reserve, which is just this bit right here. As you saw, there's a sign up there at the top of the bridge to lead you down the stairs. And this is where you begin. I'm looking forward to this. As I say, it's an absolutely beautiful day. I know it looks like it's warm, it is deceiving. It's so funny when I watch YouTube videos and it looks super sunny and I'm like, it's not cold. But yeah, it is actually quite cold. But you do warm up soon enough when you get moving. Then here we are, this is officially the first little beach. However, I wouldn't recommend going on this one because this is Sandy Bay dog off leash area here in Clontarf, which is just over there. So I think this is where all the dogs have a little run around and poo on the sand and wee and all the rest of it. So not the kind of beach you want to come to chill on and relax. But yeah, pretty nice all the same. Some lovely houses just over here. Unbelievable, some of these homes, they really are. I mean, imagine that, living just up there with these views of the boats and the water. Okay, here we are then, Clontarf Beach. Just behind me over my right shoulder there's a nice little cafe which you can sit on the water, and they have this netted area for obviously in the summer, not quite today's weather, but when it's a bit warmer, it's a beautiful little spot to swim, and there's loads of families and stuff, particularly in this beach. I think quite a residential area, and there's a nice little park, people have picnics on and things. And so yeah, as I say, it's a very safe spot if you want to have a little swim and not have to worry about the sharks. It doesn't look like there's much room to swim at the moment because the tide is quite far out, but it's normally a little bit closer in towards me, and it goes all the way along up here. It's only a little beach, nothing crazy. I mean, I'm sure some Aussies wouldn't even really consider this a beach because there's no waves. I feel like you're either in one or two camps. First of which, you're like, it needs to have proper waves, surfing waves for it to be a proper beach. The second of which, a bit like me, anywhere I can just go for a nice little swim and it's calm. That's my kind of beach. So yeah, Clontarf, here we are, very nice. And as I say, it's a pretty safe spot because I think we're in the harbour bit, and obviously you can get sharks anywhere, but you're just less likely. Look at those kids up there having a good time on the edge of the pier there, just on that net. So yeah, lovely little spot. As I say, you've got all the boats and things. We did come here towards the end of the summer in February, which was really nice, just for an hour or two. As I say, there was loads of families and things, and yeah, it's just a nice little beach. So this is our first stop, Clontarf Beach. Definitely come down if you get a chance. I just love the northern beaches, much more so than Bondi and Coogee. I just feel it's got such a nicer vibe to it, more families, more chilled. As I say, it's a little bit safer to swim because there's no big waves or currents or sharks to worry about. I mean, look at this, absolutely spectacular. Nice clear water. Oh, I feel like I'd like to go for a swim. Obviously, as I say, I've just come back from Ibiza, so I'm still in that holiday mode of, you know, jumping in the water and topping up the tan. And because it's sunny, you feel like you should be doing that, but it's just not warm enough at the moment. Look at this little guy, loving life. Okay, so we just had to go behind the beach, along the road, just along all these beautiful houses over here to make you feel really poor. And you come out on this little pathway to another little beach just off of Clontarf. You can sometimes walk on the front, but the water's too close to the houses. There's sometimes you can just come from Clontarf onto this little beach, which I believe is called Grandma's Beach, which we've been to before as well, which is really nice. This is probably the best spot. It's normally a little bit quieter than Clontarf, and again, you've got the lovely clear water. I mean, look at this, guys, absolutely stunning. There's no one on the beach at the moment, which gives you an indication as to how cold it is. But yeah, I mean, when the weather's nice, this is a perfect little spot to come and just go for a little swim. Like I say, it's pretty safe compared to Bondi, Coogee, some of the other beaches, which are a little bit more dangerous in terms of the waves, currents and the sharks and things. So yeah, here we are then, Grandma's Beach. Right, on we go. This is as far as I've got on the Spit to Manly walk. But I tell a lie, we have gone a little bit further around that way, which I'll show you in a moment. But we climbed up these rocks. Again, there's another little beach, another little kind of cove bit which you can get to either by climbing on the rocks and going round, or coming up along these steps, which is the way to Manly. So on we go. Imagine living there, honestly. I don't know how there's so many. There's just so many of these big homes. It's just, where are all these rich people? Because I'm certainly not one of them. Right, here we go then. It's a bit to Manly, Clontarf Beach that way. So we're heading 600 metres to Castle Rock. So we'll see what that's like. I was trying to work out how much further I've got to go, but I couldn't work it out. I think it's going to be another couple of hours or so, but we'll see how we go. So the other little beach is literally just down here. As I said, we climbed on the rocks to get onto the beach, which is pretty easy to do, but there is a little pathway somewhere along here that leads you down. It's a little bit more dodgy, I would say. I think it's this one, I can't remember, but you know, plenty of people go down it, so it's safe enough. I think maybe it's this one. I think this is the way we came, but actually there's another way a bit further along, but you just climb down the rocks and it's a beautiful little beach, although it looks like the tide is quite far in, so I can't quite see where the sand is. I promise you it's really nice. Probably one of my favourite little hidden beaches, hidden little gems that we've discovered. Down these steep steps, and that is the way to Manly. I believe just down here, however, is the next little beach on our itinerary, which is Castle Rock Beach. So let's see what this is going to be like. One thing I will say is this walk isn't too bad, but there's lots of steps and lots of rocks you have to go up and down, so bear that in mind if you are coming. Wow, look at this. Another little beautiful beach, like you're on some desert island somewhere. Remote, no one around. This is lovely, this is. Obviously it's, again, one of those beaches that is just like a little cove. But, yeah, it's very nice. It's obviously popular enough to have its own stairway, because that other one that I mentioned earlier near Clontarf doesn't really have an easy, accessible way to get to the beach, but this one does. Look at this, love the rocks. Everyone's drawn their names on that one over there. Nicely done. Lovely little waterfall feature over here. Not much of a waterfall, is it? And here we are, Castle Rock Beach. Beautiful, look at this. Absolutely stunning spot. Again, another little fantastic hidden gem of a beach. The thing I love about doing these vlogs is, one, I get to explore new places, and two, I had no idea about Australia, Sydney, anything really, other than a couple of little bits like the Whitsundays and like obviously the Opera House and things like that. I had no idea what to expect, and it has well exceeded my expectations coming to Sydney. It's just so many beautiful spots just like this one, and so this is why I make these vlogs. If you are thinking about coming to Australia on a working holiday visa like I am, or you just come in for a little trip, then hopefully this gives you some ideas, inspirations of where you can go and what you should see. If you are new here, my name is James. As I mentioned, I'm on the working holiday visa. I come over with my two brothers, Josh and Jude. We came over in January. It's been 6 months now, which is crazy. It's gone so fast. And yeah, loving every second. Absolutely stunning little spot. Right, on we go then. Let's see what else we can find. Before I forget, make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. Subscribe to the channel. I know we're only a small channel, haven't got too many subscribers, but we're not far off of 300 subscribers. So if you are watching and you've been enjoying my videos and my vlogs in Australia, Florida, or whatever vlogs that you've been enjoying, then do let me know in the comments down below. I know there's plenty of you. I know there's plenty of you watching, so it'd be nice to connect. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram as well, at James Barlow Coaching. If you didn't know, I am a personal trainer. That is what I'm doing over here in Sydney, and also an online coach. So go and follow me over on Instagram if you want to keep up to date, even more so, of what I'm doing on a daily basis. Right, Let's head back up these steep steps and continue along the coast all the way around there up to Manly Beach. Okay then, so we've been going for about 30 minutes. We've got some spectacular views so far on this walk. I mean, look at this. You would have seen a few clips along the way, but absolutely stunning. It's heating up nicely. It's currently 16 degrees. And so the jacket has come off, hoping to keep the tan going a little bit longer. But I mean, yeah, absolutely stunning. I think we are not too far from Manly now. Look at this. Unbelievable. I'm so glad I did this walk today. Perfect day really, because you don't want it to be too hot. In the summer we went to the Royal National Park, which if you haven't checked out that vlog, go and check it out, because it was stinking hot. My goodness, it was about 30 degrees plus and the humidity was off the charts, and it was a painful one. We had a great time, but by the end we were absolutely gagging for a drink, let's just put it like that. And that walk was actually probably harder than this. So far it's not been too bad. Look at that, we've got the ferry going across there. Don't know if you can see that. I think that's from Manly Wharf actually, so I believe Manly is just over there. So we haven't got too much further left to go. This would be like a really, really nice day in the spring or the autumn back home. If we're lucky, we'd get a day like this. Maybe one or two. We're nearly at Manly. I thought we were there. Not quite. Just got to walk all the way around this little bit, and then we'll be at Manly Pavilion. Manly Beach is just the other side. As I say, I've not been to this side before, so yeah, I think it's going to be more the same. Beautiful boats on the water. Okay, I did get a little bit lost for a second, but luckily there's these signs leading you in the right direction, so nearly there. 3.6k to Manly. So to be fair, still got a little bit of a way to go, but hopefully it doesn't take too long, because I'm getting quite hungry now. It's currently 1 o'clock, we set off at about 11, so been going for a good couple of hours. It did say it took 3 to 4 hours, so to be fair, I've been going quite quickly. I thought I was going to get it done a little bit quicker, but it seems like it's about right. It takes 3 hours or so. Okay team, we are very nearly at Manly, thank goodness, because my legs are a bit fried. We are at Fairlight Beach, which is just a tiny little beach just here, and there's a nice little, what do they call it, iceberg for swimming, which looks pretty cool. Not seen this one before. As I say, I've not been to this side of Manly, so nearly there. I think I'm going to treat myself to a little coffee once we arrive. Here we go, Fairlight Beach Reserve. Got the runners out. It's a perfect day for running if you ask me. But it's got a little bit chilly again. I feel like we've hit the peak This always happens in the winter. We hit the peak temperature about 1 o'clock. It's now 20 past 1 and it starts to cool down a bit. Also the wind's picked up a little bit as well. So jacket is firmly gone back on. Got a few brave swimmers in the iceberg though. Look at this, loving life. Fair play to them. I have said I'm going to go for a swim in the winter in the sea, but not today. Maybe when it's 20 degrees at 12 o'clock for that hour, I'll go for a little dip, but yeah, today's not that day. Ferry going across. This is MANLY Pavilion just here. Got a little restaurant on top and inside, which is nice. Oh, here we go. Oh, a little photo shoot. They're all wrapped up nice and warm for the Sydney winter. Definitely don't need a big old coat and woolly hat, but certainly in the mornings and the evenings it is a bit chilly. Here we go, this is MANLY Pavilion, which I've seen on Instagram but never been to before. It looks quite nice. Got a little outdoor seating area, and as I mentioned there's a little restaurant in there, and I think you can get a coffee and things. Look at this, looks lovely. The SB, very nice. This will be lovely in the summer. Come out here for a few little drinks. Looking forward to that. Honestly, can't wait for the summer. Just to have a bit more of a social life, go out and experience a bit more of Sydney's bar scene and all the rest of it. A nice little glass of wine on the water. Here we are, look at this. Lovely. So the wharf is just over there. And this is the other little bit of the beach that you can swim in. This bit's netted. As I say, I've seen this on Instagram but never been round to this side. And then you've got the main MANLY beach on the other bit. Okay, coffee acquired. Went to one of my favourites, Cotti Coffee, which is like I think it's an Asian or Chinese coffee brand. Really nice coffee. Got a little iced latte. Thank goodness, because I am cooked. We've made it to MANLY, as you can see, just soaking up the views. Quite busy actually. There's a few people on the beach and a few surfers in the water, as it is such a nice clear day. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Loads more Aussie videos coming your way. Now that we are back in Sydney, no more trips planned, at least for now, but who knows, anything could happen. Hopefully no more trips back to Europe anytime soon, because oh my goodness, the flight is fine, it's just the jet lag. The jet lag just kills you off. It's been a few days now and we're still feeling it, all three of us. So still waiting on some news as to what we're doing on our apartment. We are still looking, so hopefully there'll be some updates there. And yeah, plenty more videos to come. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.